Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting early bipedal hominin called Paranthropus and its similarities between Paddy. But before we get into that, I would like to say that the Bigfoot Quest for the Wildman GoFundMe campaign is still live, and we're still looking to get donations for that project. It's going really well so far, and I'm really excited to get that project running. It's going to be going on whether there's snow or no snow, and right now it's looking like a lot of snow. So I'll be talking about this a bit more near the end of the video, and also I have some other news that is pretty cool as well. Let's get into this topic. Paranthropus. Paranthropus is a robust Australopithecine that existed around 2.5 to like 1 million years ago. And Paranthropus was actually smaller than a human. You know, they only weighed about 40 to 50 kilograms. They were quite a bit shorter, but they had a more ape-like face in the sense that, you know, they had really powerful jaw muscles, really robust bone structure. They had a sagittal crest on the top of the head that, you know, kind of helped in attaching those strong chewing muscles to the skull. So in that sense, it's more ape-like, but in other senses, it was human-like, such as like the legs. The legs of Paranthropus were more human-like. It did have relatively long arms, but like I said, all around it is generally smaller than a human being. Now, the interesting thing about Paranthropus and why we're talking about it is that when you take the Paranthropus skull and you enlarge it to the size of what Paddy would be, and you put them side by side, most of the features line up almost perfectly. And you can see that in this diagram here. This is from Jeff Meldrum's presentation on the Patterson footage. And this is very interesting because what this tells us is that if Paddy's real, she's developed some really strong jaw muscles, very similar to that of these robust Australopithecines. Jeff Meldrum does go over this in his presentation. He describes it a lot better than I am, so I think what I'm going to do is play that clip for you so you can hear it from the mouth of an actual scientist. So here we go.
Now, what struck me is when I took this skull of a robust Australopithecine, we already saw the remarkable similarity between Paranthropus and Paddy. Well, here's the skull of Paranthropus. It's pretty well represented. You know, it's pretty complete. And you scale it up to the same, you know, for comparison purposes, the same size there as Paddy, and point for point, the critical landmarks line up. Critical landmarks line up from the top of her head. You know, you can see the little indication of a bit sagittal crest. You can see the brow ridge. You can see the zygomatic arch. Look at the forward flaring cheekbones. You can see the next line that shows the bottom of the nasal aperture. That flaring gonial angle of the deep jaw. The receding chin. Next slide. Now, the two main muscles, the main chewing muscles of the temporalis and the masseter. And you can see over here a chimp. There's Lucy, Australopithecus afarensis, and you can see how Paranthropus has taken, it's very specialized, it's taken this chewing adaptation to an extreme. Look at the size of those masseters, and the temporalis muscle, you know, is so large that it causes a little ridge of bone to pop up to provide a little more attachment compared to those, you know, rather, you can feel the temporalis, you can feel when you clench your teeth, you can feel the masseter, you get behind it's get in front of the parotid gland, the salivary gland that covers it. Next. But what really shows us when you take the superior, look at they call it a jug handle arrangement. Look at this, what's called the supratemporal fossa. The frontal lobes of the brain are so tapered that there's that huge area. It's deceptive when you look at it from the side, but that entire thickness is filled with muscle to drive the jaws to chew with, compared to the little wimpy muscles we have. Next slide. And that was if we took Paranthropus skull and blew it up to roughly what Paddy's skull would look like next to ours. So here's Paranthropus at 5'5", hyper thick Now, why does she have these jaws? Well, let's talk about teeth. Hyper thick tooth enamel, low cusp relief for grinding surfaces instead of slicing surfaces, enlarged premolars and molars. So you can see, count from the midline, count 2 teeth over, those are incisors. Look at that little teeny peg-like canine, then that great big premolar, 2 of them, and then 3 gigantic molars. And at 5'5", compare its teeth to this human on the right. Now what if we Sasquatch-sized her? Next slide. Boom. So that's what the palate would look like if she was Patty-sized. Now to make the comparison even more vivid, go to the next slide. There it is side by side. And in blue are the 2 post-canine tooth rows, and in white are the 2 post-canine tooth rows of the human. You know, for people who say these are just people, these are just forest people, they're just like us, except they've learned to live without technology. I don't think so. That is an entirely different adaptation. That's an entirely different strategy. They don't need tools because they can chew their way through the environment. I mean, that is just amazing. Now, again, I haven't peered into the mouth of a Sasquatch, but that comparison between the Paranthropus skull and Patty is very revealing. The only reason she would have jaws of the proportions of that Paranthropus is to support teeth like this. Next slide.
So what does this mean? Does this mean Patty is, a descendant of Paranthropus? Probably not. I mean, Paranthropus was very small. It is a creature that, evolved alongside humans. It's not an ancestor of humans or anything like that. It's on a completely different branch. But to imagine, a creature that existed a million, I guess it kind of died out a million years ago, but within that time, I doubt a creature could evolve to be shorter and, lighter than a human to being the proportions of a Sasquatch, which is anywhere from like 7 to, 12, 13 feet tall. You hear those crazy reports of absolutely enormous Sasquatch creatures. So I don't know. I just think it's a very, very interesting coincidence that these skulls and the features would line up like that. And like Meldrum says in his presentation, it wouldn't give the impression of it being, a forest person or a forest being, a people. Those are ape-like qualities, for something that is doing a lot of chewing and requires those muscles. I don't know, if you think about the Patterson footage as a hoax, would it be a coincidence that these features line up like that? That would be pretty crazy. Or, they got a hold of a Paranthropus skull or, a replica of one and they just expanded it to make those dimensions line up. I don't know, but it is kind of a very, very strange coincidence and something that makes it a lot more compelling to me. It was already very compelling. Like, the Patterson footage is one of my favorite pieces of evidence, and it's the most convincing piece of evidence in my world, the way I see it. There's nothing else like it. Still today, there's no costumes that are that good. So I don't know. It's my favorite piece of Bigfoot evidence. I know I've probably talked about it on the channel. Oh, geez, a bunch. I've made quite a few videos about the Patterson footage, and I'm sure there's people who are like, oh man, we're talking about the Patterson footage again? Let's just move on. But I've learned a lot of new things about this footage that I didn't know about before since listening to Meldrum speak about it. So this is just one of the most interesting points that he made during that presentation that I thought would be worth sharing with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found it very interesting, and I hope you learned something. So yeah, the Bigfoot Quest for the Wildman expedition and documentary series, that's still underway, still trying to get the donations to make that thing a reality. The GoFundMe page is going still. The link is down below in the description if anybody wants to help out with that. Also, some other news I wanted to talk about, not exactly Sasquatch related, but I guess it could be, is that I'm going to be starting to do expeditions out in the backcountry, taking people out. And these aren't going to be marketed as Sasquatch expeditions. They're going to be available to anyone, not just YouTube subscribers or viewers. But I'm just trying to get some things sorted out with that. And if you guys want to come out and do a multi-day hike with me out in the Nordic backcountry, out in Bigfoot territory, but like I said, not marketed as a Bigfoot expedition. You're probably not going to see anything like Bigfoot, but I guess the chance is still there. That is going to be available. So I'm going to have more information on that coming soon, probably in the next video, once I get a few things straightened out. So if you are interested in that and you want some more information about it, I do have an email on this YouTube page. I think it's in the About section on the channel. You should be able to find it there. If you want to reach out, if you want to inquire about that, things such as costs and dates and everything like that, I can fill you guys in on information. I want to do trips that take out, maximum 2 people. So if you're a couple or if you're just a lone wolf, get in touch with me if you want to do one of these expeditions. I can fill you in with information for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this episode of Mountain Beast Mysteries. We'll see you next time.